Hi everyone. One of the most common questions that I hear from students and parents navigating the path to college is, when is the right time to start preparing for SAT? It's a question that can cause a lot of anxiety. Start too early, you'll risk burnout. Start too late and you might feel rushed. So today we are going to tackle this question head on. This guide will help you figure out the right timeline for your specific situation considering the digital SAT format. So we look at the SAT tests, common practices, key factors to consider, and the pros and cons of different starting points. So let's find the best approach for you. First, let's quickly recap what the SAT actually assesses. So it's not just about memorizing the facts. It tests core academic skills that you develop over years of schooling. So let's talk about the reading and writing section first. So the reading and writing section evaluates critical reading comprehension, understanding vocabulary in context, analyzing arguments, identifying grammatical correctness, and expressing ideas clearly. The math section focuses on algebra, advanced math topics like quadratics, problem solving and data analysis, geometry and trigonometry. So understanding this is the key because it highlights that strong performance in your regular schoolwork. It's a form of long-term SAT preparation. The dedicated prep phase, it's about mastering the test format, strategy and specific question types. So when students typically start preparing varies quite a bit around the world. Like in the US, it's very common for the students to begin focused SAT prep during the summer before their junior year, that is grade 11, or during grade 11 itself. So the timing aligns well with taking the test in the spring of grade 11 or fall of grade 12 for college applications. However, in India and other regions with a strong emphasis on competitive exams, it's quite common for students to start thinking about or even beginning SAT prep much earlier. Sometimes, as early as grade 9 or 10. So this often integrates with preparation for the other entrance exams. So there isn't one correct answer globally. The best time depends on, it depends less on what others are doing and it depends more on individual factors. So instead of following a fixed timeline, let's look at the crucial factors that that should guide your decision. So the first factor is academic readiness. Now this is a very important factor. Why? Because we need to understand if the student has covered the necessary coursework. Like for SAT math, they should have completed algebra 1 and geometry, and preferably they should be taking or have completed the algebra 2 as well. Now for reading and writing, strong foundational skills are needed. So starting intense prep before learning the core concepts in school, they can actually be inefficient and frustrating, So that's why I would recommend you to focus on excelling in your current math and English classes first, because that will build your base. So are you aiming for a highly competitive, universities that often look for top tier scores, or perhaps significant scholarships? So higher goals generally mean more preparation time might be beneficial to bridge the gap between your current level and your target. If I talk about the baseline assessment, so this is non-negotiable for effective planning, because if you take an official practice SAT or PSAT, especially in grade 10 or 11, the diagnostic test will give you a realistic scoring and it will highlight your strengths and weaknesses. So knowing that you need a 200-point improvement versus a 50-point improvement, that will, drastically it will change your required prep time. Look realistically at the students' current commitments, that is challenging schoolwork, especially in the junior year. And I'll talk about other things also like extracurricular activities, hobbies and other exams. So you need to just look at all these things. And pilling intensive SAT prep on top of an already packed schedule, it can definitely lead to burnout and diminishing returns. So you need to maintain the balance. It's really essential. Now, is the student genuinely ready to dedicate consistent time and effort on focused preparation? While starting early sounds good, younger students, especially of grade 9, Like for example, they might not have proper focus or motivation needed for effective SAT prep compared to a more mature student of grade 10 or 11. So let's try to weigh the advantages and disadvantages. Okay, let's talk about starting early, right? So pros include more time for gradual learning, okay, and potentially less pressure per week. It will strengthen your foundational concepts early, and fitting into a culture where you have to prepare early, that is common. But cons include a higher risk of burnout, potentially forgetting material by the test day, crucial math concepts they might not be taught in school yet, and it could distract focus from important early high school coursework. Now, pros are that relevant coursework is likely complete, the material is fresher for this test, and students are more mature and they are focused on college goals. Also, prep is more concentrated. Cons can include like feeling rushed, having less time to address significant weaknesses, and potentially chasing a demanding junior year academic and extracurricular schedule. So many experts suggest a sweet spot for dedicated test specific prep that it often begins around the end of grade 10 or summer before grade 11, assuming that the foundational skills are solid. So what's our overall recommendation? So focus relentlessly on building strong foundational skills in math and English throughout your regular schoolwork in grades 8, 9 and 10. Because if you excel in these classes, that means you are being ready for a long-term prep. Now considering the first point, that is the first step, you have to keep in mind certain steps. So you need to have strong school foundations, right? So you have to consider taking the PSAT or an official practice SAT around the end of grade 10, because then only you will get a baseline score and you'll be able to identify your weak areas. Now, based on that diagnostic, your goals and your schedule, then you can begin the dedicated SAT preparation. You can focus on test strategies, time practice, and address the weaknesses. That is, typically 6 months to 1 year before your first target test date. So for many, this means that starting seriously in the summer before grade 11 or early in grade 11. So that depends. So your prep should be dedicated. That is, you have to build strong foundations in math and English throughout middle and high school. It's very important. And sometimes identifying and addressing the weak spots early, they can help you in your SAT preparation. They can make your preparation much smoother. Now, whether it's mastering algebra concepts in grade 9 or refining critical reading skills in grade 10, personalized support like one-on-one tutoring from Wizdomi can help ensure that students are ready when it's time to prepare for the SAT exam. So they cover K-12 subjects right through to test prep, and their first free class is a great way to see how tailored guidance can fit in your long-term academic plan, no matter which grade you are in. So building skills consistently is always valuable. Ultimately, there's no single magic grade to start SAT prep that fits everyone. The best time depends on a thoughtful assessment of the student's academic readiness, goals, diagnostic performance, schedule, and maturity. Now the key is strategic planning. You need to focus on strong school fundamentals first. You have to use the diagnostic tests widely and then allocate a dedicated period for focused SAT prep. Usually, starting sometime around grade 11 for most students who are aiming for college admissions. Then also avoid the unnecessary early pressure, but you need to avoid the last minute panic. Just try to avoid that. Now, when did you start your prep, or when are you planning to? Share your thoughts. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. And if this guide helped you plan your SAT, so please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more college prep insights. Thanks for watching and best wishes with your SAT journey.